Welcome back everyone. In this video we'll be replacing the headlight on the 2022 Apollo City. The tools needed for this video are a Phillips head screwdriver, a heat pen, a 2 and a 4mm Allen key, some heat shrink, and some flush cutters. We're going to use a 4mm Allen key to remove these 2 screws right here. That's 1 and 2. The next step will be to remove our brake cables so we can pull our handlebar off. Now to remove the lines, what we'll need to do is loosen our adjustment screw, but if our brake lines are too tight, we can loosen the drum brake to release the tension. Just like this. We can now pull it from the bottom, just like that. And we'll repeat the process on the other side. Same thing on this side. We'll align this right here and pull the brake line out, just like that. The next step will be to gently pull the handlebar assembly off and disconnect our comm cable. Just like this. The next thing we'll need to do is take our 2mm Allen key and remove the grub screw that holds the display. We can now flip the latch up, take a 2.5mm Allen key, and remove the headlight screw. Just like that. We'll put the headlight right here. We can now flip the handlebars on its head to remove the 2 screws right here. For this, we'll use a Phillips head screwdriver. Now that our headlight is free and our display as well, we can trace the headlight wire to the proper connector on the display. This seems to be the proper connector, judging from the tension on the line. So we can take some flush cutters and cut away the heat shrink. So we'll gently cut into the heat shrink, just like that. We can now disconnect the connector and pull the headlight out, just like that. We can now take our new light and insert it into the headlight cavity, passing the wire through to connect it to the display right here. But before we connect it, we're going to add some heat shrink. We can now take our heat shrink, insert it onto the wire, reconnect our connectors, and push the heat shrink into position. We can now take our heat pen and apply some heat. Make sure the heat shrink is tight, and we'll let it cool down for a couple minutes. Now that the heat shrink is cooled down, we can coil up our wiring bundle and reinsert our display into the cavity. Just like that. We can now flip the handlebars over to insert our 2 screws. We can now take our screws and insert them back into their threading. We also need to make sure there are no wires pinched between the display and the display cavity. Now for the second screw. Just like this. Now that our display has been put in place, we can take our headlight and insert it back where it's supposed to be. Now we want to make sure push most of these wires up because it's going to come in the way of the headlight, so that when we insert it, it's flush with the T-bar. With the display secured in place, we can flip the handlebars over, flip the latch, and screw in the headlight. We're going to take our 2.5mm Allen key, just like this. Now the last thing we need to do on the handlebars is put our grub screw back in. As the other 2 screws, we don't want to over tighten this because it is screwing into plastic. The next step will be reconnect the comm cable, just like this, and reinsert the handlebars onto the stem. We can now take our brake line and reinsert it into the brake handle by passing the line into the holder right here. We then put it back in place and insert it into the adjustment screw as well. So we can tighten that and we're all set up. We can now put our stem screws back in, securing the handlebar in place. And lastly, we'll check if the headlight is working properly, and it's working as it should. And that's how you replace the headlight on the 2022 Apollo City.